YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Well, it's Saturday afternoon, November 3 here, and it was 32 degrees in the shed today earlier when I looked. I'm not sure what the lower temperature was, but look, it's just nice. I'm bumming around the shed here in shorts and flip-flops, thongs again. And after restoring the gold tractor, you just don't realise the shit you get everywhere, the rubbish, it's all over the place. So I've taken the opportunity yesterday afternoon and this morning to give the shed a good clean out. The diesel TEF 20 that I've had in the bay under the gantry there, I've sent it over to the barn, over to the stables. It's I mean, it's going to be a job that's not going to happen quickly. The way things are going, we're going to bring other projects in. So the 1948 TEA 20, that's the one that we've done a lot of Fergie videos on, with the axle and the hydraulic pump and all that. I've moved it across under the gantry now, so I can get stuck into that more, and we're going to try and push that one through in conjunction with the 135. So, but I mean, I've still got a bit of a dicky throat. Haven't come good 100% yet, but anyway, see how we go. Mrs. sent me in for a haircut, so I got a new hairdo, and the bloke says, instead of just letting it go everywhere, why don't you comb it across? And I said, because I've got to put gel and shit in it, and I'm not doing that. And he says, oh, well, you just got to put a bit of gel in the morning and fucking rah-de-da-de-da. And I said, yeah, it's not going to happen, mate. And anyway, he says, your hair might stay there anyway. And I said, oh, I'll give it a go. I said, yeah, 10 days between a good haircut and a bad one, isn't there? And I can always put a hat on. And I used to have my hair like this for years when I was a younger bloke, and it stays across there, no worries at all. It's just natural. He reckons I've got a pointy head, the bastard. Should have got up him. But yeah, the missus said, oh yeah, do that. And, you know, so I said, look, I don't give a stuff. You got to look at it, not me. So she reckons I'm looking a lot tidier. So there you go. I'll be flash soon, and take a bloody long, fair bit more than a haircut to make me flash. But anyway, we've had the grandkids up, and we've been for our little puddle around on the tractors this morning. But yeah, I've tidied up the shed pretty well. The split and stand I made a little while back, I went to slide that under a tractor and it's too high, so I've actually cut about 75mm out of that, about 3 inches out, and it'll sit under the Fergies a bit better now. It was a bit touch and go before. Some it would fit and some it wouldn't, so we've given it plenty of room now, plenty of room that we can have a piece of board there as well. So the 135 Fergie that I showed you last week, well, I've spent the afternoons this week getting all the mud guards and the canopy and the bonnet off and all that, and I've given it a very good pressure clean. And just this afternoon I've just finished filming the introduction to the restoration of the 135, and we've just finished filming the compression test. It has a little miss in it, and we run through a compression test, and number 2 pot's down, so we whacked a bit of oil down, did a wet test just to see if it was top end or rings, and it come way up to 400 straight away with a bit of oil. So pardon me, so we're going to rebuild the engine. It's an AD3152 Perkins, a direct injection. So yeah, that'll be a good series. I'm a bit keen. New toy, of course. So we're doing that now. I've disabled the tractor now. I've done the compression test, and the next video, which we're going to film tomorrow, is probably going to be pulling the head off, and we have to pull the front axle out. All that wear, and a heap of wear in the front axle pin, that'll go up to the little mill, and we'll bore one of them out, which we did to the gold tractor only a matter of a few months ago. But this one's quite a bit more worn, so I thought I would bore the hole to whatever I needed in the axle housing, then I'd go to the lathe and turn up a plug to fit, and then and then yeah, we'd Loctite it in there. We'd put a couple of holding screws and that in there. So just a little different process, just to try it out. Yeah, just another way of doing it. I was going to try and bore the pin border size on the lathe, and then bore the outside one a press fit, then peg it. So worth a go. Yeah, I'm going to give that a bit of a rattle. The steering box needs doing. A lot of work on this tractor needs doing. Sitting down the other day, I realised that there's been a fire in there, and they've got the wrong fuel filters. So we're going to try and get it back to standard as close as we can get. And pardon me. And yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty keen at the moment. So hopefully I can stay keen. And we're also going to try and do the TE20 and the 135 together. As I run out of parts for one, I should be able to step across into the other one. Sparex gave me a lot of parts early for the 1948 TE20. I'm doing the 135 on my own. I haven't asked for sponsorship or anything like that. I'll just run through it on my own. I'll probably use a Bearco engine kit. I like them. And the tractor sitting on a pump, it used to get a bit of low oil pressure. Low oil pressure after it got quite hot. So I'm expecting the crank to be a bit crook. So I mean, it's a rope rear seal engine. And so look, we'll have a look and see if we put a new crank in, whether we regrind it. What we do. So it looks like some interesting stuff coming up there with doing the injection pump and hydraulic pump, and we're going to do the gearbox and everything on it. So it'll be a bare bones restoration. And the TE20, the 1948 TE20, I've never done a video on stripping a gearbox, a steering box, or setting a pinion up in one of them, the crown wheel and pinion. So that's what we're going to do with that. I have an old trumpet housing outside, and I've been thinking of cutting the trumpet housing off just to make it easier to film and things, but I'm not going to commit to that just yet. So look, I'll just take the camera, give you a bit of a sweep around and see. I haven't bought anything this week, I don't think. Renegade, Trade Tools in Bundy, they've got these little cheap drills, and where are we? There they are. Up to 6mm, $12. And you think, oh, bloody cheap shit. But they're HSS, and boy do they cut beautifully. I have a set, I've had a set before in the shop, and they're a great way for $12 of replacing all your little broken drills and bits and pieces. And so yeah, they'll probably just stay with my toolbox up the back here, you know, just for banging into a drill and yeah, drill a rivet out or whatever we need to do. Pardon me. Last week I had a fiddle with the tool grinder, the U3 tool grinder, and there's in the comments from last week, someone headed me to a website, oh sorry, not a website, a YouTube channel, where a fella's gone through and he's worked out how to do it, and he can do some beautiful stuff on it. You know, some of his drills look nice, but what he's had to do, he's had to make another end tip for it, and then he's put a lot of effort in, and there's charts there that you can download from his YouTube channel. I'll try and remember to put a link to it. There was, pardon me, he's gone to great effort and he can do a great job with his. I'm not going to go that way. By the time I look at it, and you've got to get a chart, and you've got to measure it, you know, 2.9mm if it's a 5mm drill, and turn around, and it's just too much of a fiddle for me. I'm not going to do it. I've got the drill doctor, and I can look for just boring a hole through a bit of old flat. I can just sharpen them by eye. If I want to get pretty good, I pop them in the drill doctor, and I can get that. I've learned to use the drill doctor very well, and if it has to be accurate, I've got actually new sets of drills. I've got sets of drills up in the shipping container that are just for collets only, and once they need sharpening, they step down and a new one goes in there. And so yeah, we'll work it all out. But I'm not going to follow along with the tool grinder. and another fella contacted me and on the YouTube machinist page, and he said, yeah, each millimetre you got to adjust how much you stick it out and fiddle around. And I thought, oh, I'd rather fix tractors than root around like that. So so we'll see how we go. I've been getting by without that. It's just that while I was crook, I thought I'd sit down and work that out a little bit, but yeah, it's too much of a fiddle for myself. I'm not going to worry. So look, stay put. I'll swing you around. I'll show you how tidy the shop is. You'll probably think it's messy, but it's bloody tidy to me. And we'll go for a walk around our tractors again. Well, we'll start off looking at the boss. Look at that. Working dog. Hey, Kelly. Hey. Actually, she did get after a fox. There was a fox in the paddock this morning, and didn't she round it up? Yeah, it saw her coming and took off quickly. But look, as we pan around, now you can see the 135 in this bay over here. I've moved my tool bench up to here. Then we have the 135 with a nice clear working bay, and we have the TEA20 under the gantry, and the next job with that is just to strip all those housings out. We're going to pull the trumpet housings off, finish the axles off, set up a crown wheel and pinion on film, and run through the complete gearbox and setting all that up. So look, it's quite tidy. That's a split and stand I've been playing with, which is pretty good for me. The press is down there, and all that glare there, that's out the front door. So where we've got the tractors just around here, you do get quite a breeze coming through. It's a nice place to be with them. And we've actually just finished a compression test, like I say, on the diesel one here. And there was a Sparex compression tester, and look, it looks like the same diesel one that you buy off eBay and all that, but the gauge worked, but the pressure didn't want to release again. So anyway, we'll go handheld. I'll go for a quick little walk around. Now, talk about a blind, shaky old welder. I don't know who did this. What a job. So anyway, I've got a new manifold and that. I'm just not going to dick around with that. You can see how it was leaking. It was actually leaking out through here. We've got a little track there. The other side's not so bad. I've cleaned the whole tractor down, even though it still looks a bit dicky. Know what I mean? I've got all the canopy and all the shade parts off. I've got to have a look at a few things. Yeah, this foot plate's had the knob cut off it. The fuel filter's there. It should have one fuel filter up here, then a separate one across there, a primary and a secondary. And sometime after the fire, I suppose, they've just put that on. It was a cheap fix probably. They've got rubber hoses everywhere, which I hate. Well, the reason I hate them is that they're quick and easy to use, but as the rubber hardens, the clamp tension goes off and they start to suck air. So it's best not to have them. Some of these pipes through here are all twisted and bent and all that. So we're going to get the injection pump off and run through it and do the front axle and all that sort of thing. So quite a lot of work on this. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's what I like to do. And hopefully before the weekend's out, I'll have this axle out and we'll start working on that front end as well. So anyway, stay tuned for this one. Well, over the weekend we've got the block stripped down and we're ready to go onto the engine stand with the block to do the rebuild. And look, for filming and everything, but for the little TE20 I have some bolts made and they're just threaded rod, as you can see. And the threaded rod's just 3/8 UNC, and they work okay. But then when we come across to this little Perkins block here, they're not UNC, they're 3/8 UNF, and then other engines are going to be different metric threads and things like that. So I think we'll make a bit of a machining job out of it, and I have a heap of these pins left over, and they're from leftover stands that got damaged in the flood we had years ago and that. So what I think we'll do is we could turn this down and make this UNF and then turn it down to fit inside here, but I thought we might leave this half UNC and we might make adapters. Like for this engine we'll make half USC, a bit of hex, half UNC to call a UNF, or 3/8 UNF in this case. And so we can use one set of pins with this thread system, and then we can, if we want to hook on a hydraulic pump or a hydraulic cover or anything like that, well, we can use this standard system. So it'll be a standard system for us. Now that half UNC thread there, look, we could always turn it down, but to machine it, it'll be handy if I've got a bit to hang on to here and I can pop a centre in there and support it to turn down through here. Then it gives us the opportunity to pop it in the mill and just put a couple of flats on there or whatever. So we're going to put this on hold for the moment and I think we'll turn it into a bit of lathing and a little bit of machining, which I haven't done any for a while. I'm a little bit keen, to tell you the truth. Look at that, just made for it. I think that'll be a better setup. If we standardise this, that's about 14 millimetres inside there, but if we use a 1/2 inch thread and we work from that, I think it'll be a good thing. But anyway, there's no drawings, we'll just wing it. I've made a couple of bolts and I've just been playing with speed and feed and all that, just trying to get a slightly better finish. But look, the finish isn't bad, it's just, I don't know, just trying to get it nice. So we'll see. Looks like around 0.7 of a mil works, so we'll just do a couple of runs. that's sped it up a lot. I'm getting a far better finish with the bigger feeds. We've got plenty of room. There we have longer thread. So I'll knock a few extras out. I think a couple of the early ones I'm not that happy with, so I think we're on track. Right, we've just got a new one in there. We just touch up here, touch off, bring him down 25 millimeters. Slow him down to 640. Alright, we'll drop a bit of a chamfer on the edge. And we'll get rid of the live centre here. And we'll drill a centre up the thread there now, at the end of the bolt, so we can support it at this other end. Took a few, but we're getting a bit of a system. Nice centre up there now. We bring him out to our mark, which is 110. Start him up and I'll make the mark a bit bigger. Bring your centre up. Pardon me. I've got about 2.5 inches of the centre sticking out to get clearance for the cuts I'd like to do. Jam that in tight. And that was just putting pressure on the centre there a little bit. We've touched off there, so we'll go in 0.7 of a mil. Speed the cut up to 1050 again. you go. It's getting a little bit of chatter down this bottom end. Won't be a worry to us though. I'll try and work out how come just this one and not the others, and we'll go from there. Perhaps the tailstock come a little loose or something like that. Okay, now we've done all the pins. All these fellas here. I've turned them around, put them in here, and we'll part them off at 19mm, which should give us enough for a nice hex on the top of it. So that's if I stop grabbing the hot part of it all. So we'll just come up and touch off on the jaw, just touching there, zero him out, come up 19mm, drop speed back to 640. And we might put a nice little chamfer on there, just to be flash, really. Look at that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Got me up for assault, bashing you around like that. Chuck keys there enough bit. So that's the slug. I've made half a dozen of them now, but I've got 4 that I'd like. Now we're going to set up the milling machine, and we're going to mill a hex or something on that. It won't be a triangle. Well, there you go. That's the end of another stew. Look, it's been a busy week, or busy weekend at least. We got an awful lot of work done on the 135. We've got the engine out of that and stripped down. We've got the axle front bolts to the machine. We've got the head to sort out, and we've got the bolts started for to make the adapters to get the engine to fit on the engine turning stand. So that's probably all we'll have time for this week. Time's beating me. Here's the 2 that I had a bit of a rough finish on, so I ended up getting four nice ones once I got the feed and the speed and all sorted out. Pardon me. So next job is get them up in a collet, get them in the mill, and we're going to machine a hex on each one of these, and that'll be the main bolt for the engine stand. These sit flat on the engine stand, and these will be coming in this way. So I increased the thread length to 1 inch, and look, I think it's going to be pretty good. We've got the clearance for around here, so we'll leave a bit of a flange there, and that's it. So there you go. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and have a bit of a chat down the bottom end there. We've done a heap of videoing this weekend. How many tractor videos we get done, I don't know. There's a lot of filming. I've spent 2 full days filming that, and then we come up to the shed and started on this project here. So we've got a little bit ahead of us yet. A fella contacted me last night, and the Massey Ferguson 135 up the back there, it's an early one. It's got the bent front axle the same as the gold 35 had. Pardon me. And anyway, a bloke contacted me last night, and he wanted to know was I interested in buying a couple of old tractors off him. So we've had a look, and we've gone and bought another Massey Ferguson 135, and it's got the later front axle with the power steering, but it's a multi-power box, and they were a bit of trouble and people kicked the multi-powers out, so it's been bypassed at some stage. So that's a bit of a project for us to get the multi-power back going and sort it out. So plenty more videos coming yet on the tractor scene, but that's all we have for this stew for this week. Thanks for watching, and have a good week. We'll catch you up next week, eh?